All right, everybody. Let me do a video showing you around Google Classroom, and then we'll get right into the mini lesson to go along with the worksheet I'm uploading. The very first thing you're going to want to do is go to your Google Classroom, and you have a new assignment called edpuzzle. So click on that. I see some of you have already done it. It's on tone. So it's a good reminder of what tone and connotation and figurative language, how those are all going to play into the tone. Once you have completed that, you are going to go, it looks like this, by the way, in case everyone
Probably the tone is how.
Looks like that. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and open this video, follow along with this worksheet. We'll work on this worksheet together. So the first thing before we get started is I want you to notice that all of the texts for this week and this worksheet are the exact same text that were sent home on that packet with you. So don't think this is all new material, you've never seen it before. We're just gonna slow down and kind of go through it together. I'm not gonna read this whole passage, but if you want to, you can click this link and that will open up the song. So you can actually listen to the song and read along with it, or just read it to yourself. Either way. So our clear learning target for today is I can analyze the impact of figurative and connotative meanings on tone. We've talked a lot about this, but I think it's a really good reminder that we do this again, especially with poetry, because I know that can be a little difficult. So again, number one, start by completing this edpuzzle on tone, post it on Google Classroom. Some of you have already done it. If you haven't, pause this video, go back to Google Classroom, and go ahead and do that first. Now that we're back, number two, complete this worksheet. Instructions. Watch the video posted on Google Classroom to help guide you through these questions. That's this video. All texts are from the packet sent home with you. I've explained that. If you have already completed the paragraph response, just type them here. So everything that is in that weird color on the right side, this is going to be work that you will complete. Over here is the text and links to other things. This is where we're working toward, the paragraph response on your packet. What is the tone of this song? Be sure to cite specific words and phrases that create this tone. So after you've read it or you've listened to it, you can already answer the first question. What is the theme of the poem? So remember theme, we're thinking of like, what's the overall picture? Tennessee is picturesque and peaceful. Picturesque means it's beautiful, it's easy to picture. B, mountain homes are superior. Mountain homes are better than other homes. C, nostalgia is important to living. I know we've talked about nostalgia before, but nostalgia is like when you think back and you reminisce about good times. D, optimism about where you live makes you enjoy it more. So which one of these best represents a theme? Now what you're gonna do to pick it is you're just gonna highlight it, like whichever one you think. Don't necessarily pick the one I'm picking because I might not have picked correctly. You're just gonna highlight it and make sure you hit the highlight button, okay? Then paste a line that best supports your answer to question one. All you need to do for this is come over to this side, pick a line, this is going to be easier to do on a Chromebook. I'm doing it on an iPad, so it's a little hard. But if you have a Chromebook, this should be a lot easier. So all you're going to do is copy, right? Come over here and hit paste. So I don't need you don't need to type it all out. I don't need a whole lot. Just pick a line that you think best supports whichever theme you chose, copy and paste. And that's how I'll know you're working through it. Once you have done that, Now let's go back in and pay careful attention to the imagery in this. So just like the edpuzzle was talking about, tone a lot of times is created by imagery, right? What is the author describing and how are they describing it? When we talk about imagery, we're not just talking about pictures. Think about like what I can see, what I can smell, and what I can hear. So I'm just gonna go through it. Sitting on the porch on a summer afternoon in a straight back chair on two legs, leans against the wall, watching the kids a-playin' with June bugs on a string and chase the glowin' fireflies when evening shadows fall. We have a picture here, right? You can picture a chair leaning against a wall, kids playing with June bugs. What kind of connotation? Just stop, jot it down next to it. What kind of connotation does this picture have? So you can just type right next to it. Tennessee mountain home, life is as peaceful as a baby's sigh. In my Tennessee mountain home, crickets sing in the fields nearby. Let's look at this question. Question 3. What is the meaning of the simile in lines 5 and 6? So these right here, these are lines 5 and 6. In my Tennessee mountain home, life is as peaceful as a baby's sigh. What is the meaning of the simile in line 5 and 6? A, the speaker thinks life is short. B, the speaker believes life is quiet and calm. C, the speaker enjoys peaceful babies. Or D, the speaker feels frustrated. So the simile part, right, would be comparing life to a baby's sigh. So what is the meaning of that? Why does she compare life to a baby's sigh? A, B, C, or D? Now let's get to question 4. How does the poet's use of imagery impact the meaning of the poem? So let's keep looking at the imagery. Honeysuckle vine clings to the fence along the lane. Their fragrance makes the summer wind so sweet. Fragrance, what does that mean? I don't know. Let's copy it. I want you to do this at home as you're coming across words you don't know. Fragrance, a pleasant, sweet smell. The cool thing about looking it up online is you can even listen to how it's pronounced.
Fragrance.
Yeah. So, a pleasant, sweet smell. So, honeysuckle vines cling to the fence along the lane. Their fragrance makes the summer wind so sweet. And on a distant hilltop, an eagle spreads its wing, and a songbird on a fence post sings a melody. So here, we're smelling flowers, right? Honeysuckle. We know that fragrance is their sweet smell. We're seeing an eagle flying, and then we're hearing a songbird singing. This is the imagery she's creating about Tennessee. So when you read, I want you to really think about, like, what am I seeing? What am I smelling? What am I hearing? And how does that impact the overall tone of the poem? So go through the rest of it without my help and just jot down next to it the connotation of each thing. So here, right, their fragrance makes the summer wind so sweet. I want you to track, right? And by track, I mean, if you're good at doing it in your head, do it in your head. If you're not, that is okay. I am not. You've seen my texts. I annotate all over them. You can actually highlight as you read. You can type right next to it. You all know a lot of times I'll put tone behind each paragraph and just jot down, like, what do I think the tone is? Or I'll highlight words I don't know, right, like I did with fragrance. Or I'll just jot down questions I have. I want to see you working on this document, right? Everyone has a copy. It's yours. Once you finish the poem, go ahead and answer question 4. How does the poet's use of imagery impact the meaning of the poem? A, the poet describes the scenery to emphasize Tennessee's overall beauty. B, the poet describes the evening shadows to convey that beauty does not last. C, the poet describes people's actions to invoke jealousy from the reader. D, the poet describes her home to contrast her home with the reader's home. So all of this imagery, all these things were seeing, smelling, hearing. How do they impact the overall tone? Once you've highlighted that, go ahead, pause the video, highlight the correct answer. Let's move to question 5. What is the tone of the song? Be sure to cite specific words and phrases that create this tone. Some of you have probably already done this paragraph. That's great. Go ahead and type it up here. If you need to revise it, now's your chance. If you're a little stuck with how to start, I would start like this. The tone of the song is blank. You tell me. Then you're going to want to cite specific words and phrases for the tone. So remember how to cite. You're going to put it in quotes, and you're going to pick a line, copy and paste it over, end quotes. So then you could say something like, the poet writes, comma, copy and paste, end quotes, period. Are we done? No. Remember, you always have to explain, why did I pick the evidence I picked? Just sticking it in there isn't really going to help me know what you're thinking, right? You have to act like your reader doesn't know what you're thinking, so you have to be very explicit about it. So then we would say, this quote shows, or this explains, or something like that. You guys have been writing paragraphs all year, so just use those in case you're stuck. Some of you have already done it, some of you haven't done it yet, some of you are struggling to start. That's okay. I will be grading this at the end of tomorrow. I know I uploaded this video a little late, but once you're done with it, go ahead, go back to Google Classroom, make sure to hit submit, right? So when you are doing work, I don't necessarily see it until you go in and you complete it and then you hit submit, okay? I will be available if you have any questions. Text me, email me, FaceTime me, not FaceTime me, Google Meet me, and I am here. Have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.